Hey guys, it is currently 12:45 in the morning on October 27th, I think. Yep, October 27th, and I'm going to do my best to film daily here for the rest of the month, just a few days, but I'm planning to film daily for November for NaNoWRIMO, so the sooner I can get back into the flow of things, the better. Things have still been difficult when it comes to daily filming and remembering to film in addition to everything else that I'm doing during the day, but I'm going to do my best to get back into the flow of it and make it work with the new sleep schedule. So at this point, recently, I've been going to sleep around 1 a.m. and then I wake up around 8 to 9, generally. That was how it went yesterday, but yesterday I also went to bed pretty late, I think. So I needed to take a nap later on in the day, but sometimes that's the case. As far as I can tell, my thyroid is still out of whack as well, so I'm still pretty exhausted during the day, no matter what I do. Sometimes it's consistent, sometimes it's very sudden onset, and I, need to take a nap right then and there because I physically cannot function anymore. But it kind of depends on the day, kind of depends on how things go. I'm doing my best to work around that. I'm doing my best to work around my pain. I'm doing my best to work around the cats and the dogs and the birds and everything. When my thyroid's out of whack, in addition to that, I get really bad headaches, I get sore throats all the time, my pain is generally worse, my coldness sensitivity is much worse than it is when my thyroid is balanced, and I have a lot of jagged memory issues. It's hard to keep track of what I was doing, what I was going to do next, where I started from, so on and so forth. And currently I live my day by a whole bunch of timers and alarms with names on them so I remember what the hell I'm doing. It's one of the only ways to guarantee that if I say I'm going to do something, that I do the thing. At this point, outside of all of that, I am currently done editing Odyssey 18, which was something that I was working on the last time that I talked to you. And since I don't think I've mentioned it in a video this month, GENT's Instagram will be down in the description below, but GENT is the gal who wrote Odyssey 18. She's one of my clients for editing, so her Instagram and her Twitter and Facebook page will be linked in the description. I think she also has an author's website, so that'll be down there too. If I find any other social media that I forgot about right this moment, all of that stuff of hers will be down there in the description. But I'm done editing that one. I finished that on the 24th, I think, and I currently have her next book for copy editing, which is part of the Eve's series. I believe it's that or Eden. Don't quote me. I'll type it on the screen to confirm, but I think it's the Eve's series. But that's what I'm going to start working on next. In between writing, it's going to continue on into November, so I will be counting for a NaNoWRIMO editing count as well. I have 2 Nano accounts, one for writing, one for editing. I will be using both in November for the first time since potentially last year. I'm not sure. And I'm also starting a new book for November, but we'll get into that later on in the NaNoWRIMO videos because I'm not going to do a Preptober thing this month, which is odd. But, you know, this month has been odd, so that's okay. But at the moment, I'm working on Rowan the Healer, which is going slow, but that's okay. It normally does. I still like these characters. I still enjoy the Rapunzel retelling premise of it. So I'm just letting it take its sweet old time. And I expect things to be slow the majority of the time regardless with everything that I'm working on right now. So I'm going to get back into this for about the next 10 minutes and I will give you another update before I brush my teeth and all of that and get ready for bed. But at the moment, I'm just going to see what Rowan and Bayard are willing to produce for this chapter in the next 10 minutes, and then we'll go from there. So it's 1:44 in the morning, but you can see that all I did today was here-ish to here, so I didn't do a ton, which is expected. But with my word count, we're at 13,710 words. And now, I keep track of my word count down here on Google Sheets. I used to keep track of it on Write-O-Meter on my old phone, but that app hasn't been in the App Store for quite some time, so I can't download it on the new phone. So we're here. So, I have them all down here in 3 projects per sheet, but Rowan is here, and then here on the 27th, I'm going to put down the 13,710 word count that's up here. And then we get to do a little bit of math. Thankfully, I don't have to do it. Just here, if you've never used Sheets, you can just press minus and then, or equals, and then type minus, and then press today's count, and then yesterday's count, and then check mark it. And that brings our total to 44 words for today so far. So then, down here I'm going to scroll over to this beautiful creature, and right here for the 27th I'm going to write down 44 and then make sure to put Rowan the Healer here and 1027 here. But I'm gonna go brush my teeth and go to bed, and then when I wake up, whenever that happens to be, the next book that I'll be working on will be Grim Reaper. Hooray. I'm actually pretty excited to get back into that one, and I'm hoping things go well. But I will see you guys then, hopefully, as long as I remember to record. I'm going to do my best to set a Google reminder just to hopefully be reminded. But I will see you guys once I'm up and done taking care of the animals in the morning. So hopefully a good sleep comes from this. And I will see you guys in a few hours. Alright, with animal chores done and kittens checked in on and all of that, including drug time for little dude here, it is 10:27 in the morning on the 27th, and it is time to get into Grim Reaper stuff. So first things first, it is cold as hell today. I can never tell if that's because of the outside or because of me. It is cold outside. There's snow on the ground. It snowed yesterday and the day before, I think. My weather app says that it is 19 degrees outside right now. It just updated to 25 degrees right now, which is a little bit better. But it's cold outside. It's a little chilly in here, and I have a cold and sensitivity, which makes it colder. I do have my gloves here, but I took them off to give Willie his meds because I don't want my hands or my gloves to smell like bacon pill pockets, because that would be disgusting. But I have those in here. I also have my little rechargeable hand warmer thing. This thing is awesome, by the way, if you have cold hands. You can recharge it down here. This makes it act as a power bank, but you just hold this for a moment and then a little light kicks on here, and then you can adjust it to 3 different settings. I normally use it on the second one, and then I just hold it like this, and it starts getting hot within like seconds. You can start feeling it get warm pretty quickly. So I'll actually link it down below in the description, and just for fun, I'll see if I can reactivate my Amazon Associates account, and then it will be an associate link, which means that if you buy anything on Amazon through my link, I get like a very, very slim portion of your payment. It's not any extra money for you. It is the same price that I would have paid for it, so on and so forth. I'll see if I can reactivate that, because I haven't used it in a long time. But this thing is actually, it's amazing. It is top-notch. I haven't had any issues with it so far. I haven't had it for super long either. Only a couple of weeks, I think. But I use it every day. I love the hell out of it, and it's part of the only reason my hands function at all. But that aside, with Grim Reaper stuff, I have my notebook in here for Grim, and currently I think I'm caught up on notes here. The last thing that I have on here is talking to someone about scoring a drug partnership with the cartel, because Grim is working on rebuilding the family and their business associations and all of that, because compared to the other book, the original, they've gone through a lot of hard times here. There are very few men remaining. I haven't counted yet, but I think I've only mentioned 4 or 5 of them, which is how many were regularly mentioned in the original as well. But on very rare occasions you would see another dude that was working for him, one of the soldiers. But I took out all of the ones that were rarely seen, because there's no point in them being there, because they're not adding anything. Even though they're just background soldiers, so they don't like have to add anything, but then they would be killed off at some point in the book, and it's not impactful. Death doesn't always have to be impactful in a book. It can just be something that's there, especially in a mafia book or a crime book. But I still want them to have more meaning, because they're all a family. So if everyone there is upset, but the reader has only seen that person once before, it's not impactful at all. So I've removed all of the ones that haven't showed up, and there's been no issue so far. At some point I'll need to go through and count how many guys there are. I know for a fact there's at least 4, potentially 5, but I haven't actually checked. Outside of that, it looks like I have one more scene I need to jot down here in my to-do list notes, because I started a scene where Cheslov is sitting at his desk and he calls his wife on the phone, and I need to go ahead and write that down so that way it's in my timeline here. But after that, after I warm my hands up and then put my gloves back on, then, I'm sorry, my dog's digging around on the bed. But after that, I'm going to attempt to get into writing, see how things go today, and hopefully keep you posted. I don't know how long I'm going to write for, but we will see how things go, and we will go from there, which is about all I can ask for at this point. Apologies in advance for the heater. I cannot be back here without it on right now. I haven't done any work in Grim Reaper yet. It is 1:02 p.m. at the moment, which is fine. It is very, very cold back here. I've had my gloves on, I've had the hand warmer thing, and at the moment neither is helping my pain. My hands are warm, mostly, but my knuckles are so stiff and sore, and I just can't do anything with them. I've been working on my website, which is mostly mouse clicking. I don't have to do a ton of typing. It's mostly copy and pasting with what I'm doing right now, which makes it relatively easy to do. But I do still want to try and get some writing done today, because, you know, I do want to write every day. So I'm going to go get the white tub that I put water in and stuff, and put some Epsom salt in there and soak my hands for a while in some hot water. Sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see how today goes and go from there. Hopefully it will help, but we'll have to see. In the meantime, I'm going to finish up this website page that I'm working on here, and then from there, I should just be able to soak my hands for a while and then hopefully accomplish something in Grim. But I wanted to give you a little update just to let you know that I had done nothing. I'm gonna start by making another cup of coffee because this one is gone, and then we'll soak my hands and then hopefully get some writing done. But we'll see how things go, and I will keep you guys posted. So it is 1:37 p.m. on the 28th, but I am going to close out the video for the 27th, which I haven't done in a while. So yesterday I wrote a whopping 20 words in Grim Reaper. No, that's not an exaggeration. That's not me undershooting what I did. I literally wrote exactly 20 words yesterday. It was a very slow day. After I soaked my hands in the Epsom salt, which I think is what I was going to do after I updated you last, shortly after that I finished up some stuff on my website, and then I think I ate lunch. I think I did that after. Because I wasn't feeling great, and I was hoping it was because I was hungry. And food didn't help, but I did have like 2 helpings of chili or whatever. And after that, I had a little while where I felt relatively okay. I wasn't feeling great, but I wasn't quite as sick to my stomach as before. So I opened up Grim for the millionth time because since I was on other tabs, I needed to refresh it and all of that fun jazz. And it didn't take too long before I had a massive headache, mostly up here and on my temples, and I can't take anything for headaches because of my anxiety meds that double as a chronic pain management. I can't take anything for pain, I can't take anything for headaches. If it has something in it that's supposed to help with your pain, I can't take it, which sucks, because then I just have to deal with it. So I washed my face. I hoped maybe that would help a little bit, because sometimes just even getting clean, fresh water on your face can help, but it didn't. So I put some of my pain rub on my forehead and my temples and down my neck, because my neck was sore and stiff, usually is, but that didn't help at all. And it made me dizzy, and not the pain rub, the headache. The headache made me dizzy, and I felt sick to my stomach, and I felt like every time I moved I was going to get sick. So I lay down for a nap, which didn't happen because then the UPS guys showed up. So then Roxy started barking, and then she barked and ran through the house until my mom got home, like half an hour later. She's a big old chicken shit. It does not matter how big she is. It does not matter that she's like 50 to 75 pound dog. She's chicken shit. So whenever like the UPS guy comes out here, or if the mail lady brings mail up to the house instead of in the mailbox, like when it's an actual box, it upsets Roxy very deeply. Like all day, until you go out there with her and prove to her that no one is out there anymore. But I didn't do that because I felt sick, so I didn't go out there with her to show her that it was okay. So I didn't sleep like I wanted to. I didn't take a nap or anything. I tried, but I didn't succeed. And I didn't feel great after that, so after my mom got home, I just packed up my stuff back here and went into the living room. I ate supper, which I also managed to eat okay. That didn't make me sick or anything, but I still wasn't feeling great. I drank some water. I had some saltine crackers, because sometimes the combination of the two helps, but it didn't. It didn't kill the headache, obviously, but it did help with the dizziness just a little bit, and it helped with the sick to my stomach feeling, in a more substantial way, I suppose. But I think it maybe took an hour or two before the dizziness came back and the sick to my stomach feeling came back, so I laid down sometime after 9 p.m. and then I just laid on the couch motionless in hopes that I wouldn't get sick. And went from there. I didn't wake up until 4 when I took my thyroid meds, and I didn't feel great then. I felt better than when I went to sleep, but I wasn't feeling great. So slept in again until about 7 something when my mom got up, stayed on the couch. And then after mom left, I came back here and slept again until 10 when I had to give Willie his meds. I still don't feel great. I still have a headache, but I'm not sick to my stomach, and I'm currently not dizzy. I can feel the headache right here. It's not as bad as yesterday, but I can feel it. It's there.
and I imagine that that will turn to dizziness again later on. I'm not sure what's causing that. I deal with headaches quite often. I deal with pain quite often. I deal with that sick to my stomach feeling relatively often, but I don't know what necessarily causes it, because there are a million things that could be wrong with me and we don't have a diagnosis. So when something happens, I don't know if it's a symptom of my thyroid being out of whack, because some of them line up with that. I don't know if it's a symptom of whatever causes my joint pain, because some of the symptoms could line up with that. Like fibromyalgia is one that's been tossed around multiple times by at least 3 of my doctors. But we don't have a confirmation for that. We don't have a confirmation for chronic pain disorder or any of the million other things that it could be. So I never know if it's a symptom of one of those 2 things, or if it's a symptom of something completely unrelated and something that I should be getting checked out, which is fun. But past that, it's to tell you that I didn't accomplish anything yesterday. The only words I wrote yesterday were something to the effect of, "She chuckled, the sound soft and beautiful. Cheslov had been in love with that damn laugh since the day they met." And that might be all 20 words. It is. Except for one of them must have been there before, because that's 21, so. But that's where we are. I didn't accomplish much. I am attempting to work on it today, here on the 28th, and we'll see how things go. But I'm not expecting great progress. It's cold today. You might be able to hear the heater on. It's currently, I'll refresh my weather app and let you know. It's currently 54 degrees outside, which is much nicer than it has been, and on top of that, that's even what it actually feels like outside, instead of it being like 10 or 20 degrees colder like it normally is. So, 54 degrees outside. I don't know what temperature it is in here, but I know that I'm cold, and I know that my knuckles aren't handling it well. I've warmed this up 2 times so far this morning. It's just a long sock with lentils in it, I think. And when I warm that up, I tend to compress my hand in it like this, and then I switch hands when the one hand feels okay-ish. And that helps for, you know, a short amount of time, but it's not like a long-term solution. It doesn't help with much of anything past warming my hands up for like half an hour to an hour after I stop using it. But I'm trying. I do finger stretches, I do hand stretches, but since we don't know what causes my joint pain, since we don't know what it is, I can't like do a targeted solution to it, you know? There's no, we know it's not arthritis, so I know not to treat it with arthritis stuff, but that's about it. It sucks, and I'm in a lot of pain. I normally am. I do my best to push through it. I do my best to keep my spirits up as much as I can and look on the positive side and push through and get shit done, but it's harder some days than others, and when your hands are borderline not functioning at all, it's even harder to be positive when every aspect of my career involves my hands. Typing, there's technically voice to text, but it sucks. I'm gonna be honest with you, it sucks. There's not commands for open quote, closed quote. They don't have M dashes or N dashes, or I don't even think they have hyphens. I don't even think that's a command. So the stuff I use sucks, especially when the characters' names aren't commonly English, like Cheslov. It's always going to spell Grim wrong, because it's 2 M's, not 1. And for this book in specific. And with all of my other books, it corrects stuff that's not there, and it capitalizes stuff that's not supposed to be capitalized, and then it makes more in editing, and I have to edit with my hands too, so there's corrections that I do with my hands. The freelance editing side of my career is done with my hands. I just got another book 2 days ago, I think, that I'm editing until, I think, mid-December. And I haven't started on that yet, which is fine. That's not like behind schedule. I just haven't opened it and started on it yet. And I don't want to until my hands are warmer because I feel like I'm going to be trying to push myself too far and not putting my best foot forward, or I'm going to be slacking and not putting my best foot forward. And that's not my book. I don't want to slack on it. I don't want to skip over a ton of mistakes just because I'm not really there yet. And everything else that I do for every step of the way involves my hands. I have a book cover to design for Serial Killers Anonymous at some point, which will most likely be designed in the winter when it is cold. I have 9 edits to get through, counting the rewrite edit that's still not done. And I have just a ton of stuff to do. And I just can't make a ton of progress on any of them, which sucks a lot. And I normally do skim over that with a little smile or a chuckle, because what else am I supposed to do? But it does suck, and I am in a lot of pain, and I am very cold, and I am trying to function, and I am trying to get stuff done, and I'm trying to do all of those things without also shitting on myself for not accomplishing as much in those things as I'd like to. But admittedly, not getting down on yourself about it is also very hard. But I'm learning. Slowly. But with all that being said, I have other stuff to do today. Surprising, I know. I need to film a Grimm video that's specifically dedicated to Grimm, because I haven't done that in a while. The last number that I filmed for Grimm was video 177. My brain is not there today. And currently I'm well into the 600s, almost 700s for the videos on my SD card. So it's been a while since I've filmed anything for Grimm. So I need to do that to give an update on how things are going, since I'm supposed to be filming a series for that book. So I'm going to do that next, and then we'll go from there. Because I expect today to be slow, I'm not going to do a work in progress video for it, or else it will just be like this one, where I'm like, hey, I wrote 20 words in Grimm. And if I kick ass and I write more than that, so be it, and I'll let you know later. So the next October video that I see you for might be the 29th, or the 30th, or the 31st. We'll see how things go. But otherwise, I'm going to film a Grimm video, work on Grimm, and finish up some other video stuff that I'm doing right now. Like I'm sewing this little bat stuffed animal for Willie for Halloween. And I'm filming it, sort of, not like consistently, but I'm filming some of the processes. So I'm going to do that today too, work on that today, in between my hands being my hands. And then we'll get back to work in progress stuff at some point. And then in November we'll do, hopefully, daily November videos, but we'll see how things go and we'll go from there. But otherwise, I'm not going to do my normal outro, because I'll be honest with you, off the top of my head today, I don't know it. So I'll just say that the links to my social media and all that stuff are down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah? Bye for now.